Tech neck and couch slouch are no joke. Just a few days of compromising your posture can cause a host of problems, including upper back pain. The pain might originate in your neck or shoulders, or even from a lack of mobility in your thoracic spine. But regardless of where it comes from, upper back pain can prevent you from enjoying your usual activities. Hi, I'm Sarah Lynn, Healthline's Senior Fitness Editor. I've spent over a decade teaching Pilates, and often what brings clients in the door is back pain that results from poor posture, a lack of core strength, and a lack of mobility in their upper back and neck. But the good news? I've seen so many people reduce pain and stand taller by implementing some of the exercises and stretches I'll show you today. Now remember, if your back pain is chronic or if it gets worse over time, it's a good idea to schedule an exam with your medical team to rule out any underlying injuries or conditions that could be the culprit. But if your upper back pain is due to postural issues, don't worry. We've got your back, literally. Practice these moves every day, and in time, I have no doubt you'll notice significant improvement. I'll demo each exercise for you a couple of times, but you should complete 8 to 10 reps of each to get the most out of these exercises. Work your way up to 2 to 3 sets every other day. Let's get started. All right, for our exercises today, we're going to begin lying down on a mat or a carpet, and you'll need to have your resistance band close by because we'll use this for a few of the exercises. So put that down for now, spin around, lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet together. From here, I want you to take your arms out to the side and then bend your elbows so that they are pointing up towards, the fingers are pointing up to the ceiling. You're gonna let the hands roll back so you open up the chest and shoulders, and this is your starting position for snow angels. So from here, you're gonna take your arms and slide them up over your head, trying to keep your fingertips and your shoulders and elbows hovering on the mat, and do it again. As you lift your arms overhead, draw the ribs down, breathe out, and try to keep the shoulders down so they're not lifting up to the ear. This is very much like a wall angel exercise, except for we're doing it on the floor. You can do this against a wall as well. It's a little harder to coordinate your stability through the core because you're not resting on the ground. One more here. From here, we're gonna roll onto one side. So roll onto one side of your body, stacking your knees, stacking your feet, and stacking your hands. From here, rest your head down. If you need a pillow, that's perfectly fine. You're going to lift your arm up to the ceiling and then open and stretch back. If you can get your arm all the way to the floor, that's fine, but don't force it. Come all the way back up, and we'll do that again. This is that spine opening thoracic mobility exercise. One more here. And we'll switch sides. So you'll come back up, spin around, stack your hips and knees, stack your hands in front of you, rest your head, and then from here, lift one arm and open your chest to the sky. When you're doing these stretches, you never really want to hold a stretch for more than 30 seconds at a time. And in fact, I prefer stretching dynamically, so keeping some sort of movement throughout the range of motion. Next, we're gonna roll onto our stomach, and this time you're going to need your band. We'll do Superman with Cape. The band's gonna come behind your back. You can kind of put it on like a belt to get into position. Lie down on your stomach on your mat and stretch the band out to the side. From here, hold on to it with both hands. This is your cape. So resting your hands down, keep your feet anchored, pull the belly button in, lengthen through the tailbone, and then breathe in. As you exhale, lift your hands, lift your head, lift your chest. Come back down. Try that again. Lift. And down. One more here. Lift. And come back down. Take your band and place it to the side, and let's press back into a child's pose from here. So with wide legs, feet together, hips sit back, arms stretch nice and long. Take a few deep breaths into your child's pose position. And then, after one more deep breath, we're going to switch this to a puppy pose. Puppy pose is one of my favorite upper back stretches. You're gonna come up a little higher on your knees, rest your elbows down on the mat, and then shift backwards so that your hips are up to the sky. If you have a yoga block and you wanna rest your forehead on it, you can do that. Otherwise, try to keep your head supported in line with the spine. As you breathe, try to let your chest drop deeper towards the floor. And then reach back into child's pose one last time. Okay, now you're going to grab your band and we're going to wrap it around an anchor point on a piece of furniture, like a couch or a table. This exercise is a lat pull down, but we're going to be doing it on our stomach. Wrap this here, it makes a triangle. You're gonna rest your head right here in the middle of the triangle. Once you're on your stomach, reach up on the band, and remember, the further you reach towards the anchor point, the harder it will be to pull. So you may need to adjust your positioning based on how much resistance you want. Take a deep breath in, keep your feet flat on the ground, pull your belly button in and up, and as you exhale, draw the elbows down and back like a lat pull, and then reach them back up towards the anchor point. Exhale as you pull down, inhale as you bring it back up. Let's do 2 more of those. Exhale to pull down, inhale, pull back up, and one more time. Exhale, pull down, and inhale to release. For our kneeling exercises today, you'll need your resistance band for the last few exercises, but we'll start without it. So keep it nearby and then come down onto your knees and put your hands on the mat too. We're going to start on all fours in a quadruped position and work on protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. So this is a very small movement, and a lot of times people try to make it bigger than it needs to be. I want you to really challenge yourself to keep the movement in the shoulder blade itself. So once you find your neutral position in the spine, you're gonna start by, let's retract first because it's a little easier to find. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together, keeping your arms straight. That's retraction. And then come back to neutral and do the opposite. Push the shoulders up into a protracted position, and it's almost like you're pushing the floor away. And then come back to neutral. And again, retract the shoulders, back to a neutral shoulder girdle, and then push and protract, pushing the mat away, and back to neutral. Like I said, these are very small, subtle exercises, but it's a really good way for you to figure out your alignment in your shoulders. Now, from here, find your neutral position again, and let's move to cat-cow. So from a nice engaged position in the stomach, I want you to pull the belly button up and in, drop the tailbone down, press into that protraction in your shoulders, and drop the head. Come back through neutral, both in the spine and the shoulders, and then think about lifting your sternum out and up as you lift up into cow position. Try not to sink into it here, but instead stay lifted. Come back to neutral, and then go back to your cat. Coming through neutral into cow. One more time with each of those. Rounding the spine up to the ceiling, dropping the tailbone down, pushing into the hands. Come back through neutral spine and shoulders, find neutral in the neck, and then open and lift for cow. And back to neutral. Once you get back to your neutral position, let's come on up on top of your mat. So you're kneeling on your mat, and we'll do some neck stretches from here. Your first neck stretch is assisted. So you'll take one hand, reach it to the opposite ear, and gently pull to one side. Hold this for about 10 to 20 seconds, breathing, and then release the hand down, keeping your head in the same position. From there, tilt your nose down towards your shoulder. You should feel the stretch move into this part of your neck. Come out of it the same way you went in, and lift back up. Let's do the other side. So reach your hand over to the opposite side, tilt your head, breathe, try to keep this shoulder down, release the hand, and then tip your nose down toward the floor. And then come out of it the same way you went in. Okay, now moving on, we're gonna grab the band and do some external rotation of the shoulders. You'll need to hold the band with your palms under it, like so. Bend your elbows into your waist, grip the band, and as you breathe in, open the shoulders, and then pull the hands out to the side, as if you're gonna try and rip the band apart, and come back in. As you do this exercise, your shoulders and elbows stay fixed in space, and it's just the hands that move. So you're really getting that external rotation. Work on your core here by pulling the belly in, firing up the glutes, feeling your hamstrings engage. We'll just do 2 more. One more. Now from here, you're gonna place the band on the mat with one end long. So you'll kneel on the band on one side. The opposite hand reaches across for the band. So you hold it like this across your body. We're doing a disco move. So you're gonna pull your elbow up and press it out and then bring it back down the way you went out. So you bend elbow, straighten the elbow, bend your elbow and release it down. Pull, press, bend, and down. As you're doing this exercise, zip up through the core. Try to keep your shoulders and neck free of tension. And we always have to do that on the other side. Set the shoulders first, elbow comes up first, press, bend, and lower. And do that again. Pull, press, bend, and lower. I'll show you one more of these, and we'll finish with a kneeling side bend stretch. You can just let go of the band for this one. Bring one hand behind your head, and you're gonna reach the other fingertips towards the floor as you bend to the side. Take a deep breath in. Try to keep your tailbone tucked under you so you're not sitting back, but you're really flat and open. And then lift and switch sides. Breathe into the stretch, feeling a nice side bend stretch, and then come all the way back up and lower down. For the standing exercises today, you'll take your resistance band and you're going to lay it down on the floor and start standing on it for a row. So place the band down, step on the band with both feet hip distance apart, and then grab the two ends in each hand. From here, bend your knees slightly and pitch your body forward so you're in a nice long neutral spine. Inhale, and as you exhale, draw the shoulders back as you pull the elbows up towards the ceiling. Exhale to pull. Inhale to release back down. Exhale to pull back, tightening the shoulder blades, and come down. Now, the nice thing about a resistance band is that you can add weight or reduce weight by where you hold it. So the closer you hold to your feet, the heavier it will feel. And the further away you hold, the lighter it will feel. Let's do two more here. And then release the band, step off of it, and take it back in your hands again for our next exercise. Next, we'll do arm lifts to the back. So taking the band behind you, hold your hands on the band hip distance apart, actually more like shoulder distance apart, and keep the palms facing back. As you breathe in, prepare by holding your stomach strong and standing tall. As you exhale, press back through the arms and lower them down. This is a shoulder stability and mobility exercise because we want to make sure that as you lift your arms, you're not letting your shoulders hike up towards your ears. So think about reaching the fingertips back and keeping the shoulders down. Exhale. Two more. Exhale. And last one. From here, let's stretch the pecs. Turn your palms to face the front, still holding with the band behind you. From here, as you press back gently, open up the chest and press into the band to the side as you lift the chest, and then come all the way back to neutral. As you're doing this, keep it small. You don't have to go for a big movement here. It's really just about opening up the chest and shoulders and getting the upper back muscles to fire up. So lift and open, and come back down. Let's do one more of those. Press out, lift, and open. And come back down. Next, we're gonna release the band for a moment so you can just place it down next to you. And we're gonna start standing tall and work our spinal mobility by doing a standing roll down. So you'll begin by opening up the chest and shoulders, nodding the chin, and rounding forward, trying to bend one bone at a time. So you're flexing the spine little by little. Come all the way down. You can slightly bend your knees if it's more comfortable for you. And then slowly roll back up again, pulling the belly button into the spine, anchoring your pelvis in neutral, and stacking the head, neck, and shoulders right on top. We're gonna do that again, and this time turn slightly so that we roll up with a twist. So you'll roll down straight, going straight down through the middle of the legs. And then shift your shoulders so they're over your right foot. And as you start to roll up, pull that left hip back and slowly roll up through the spine, feeling a little bit more stretch in your spine as you lift. Come back up to center and we'll do the other side. So roll down the center. Take your time, really bend through the back. Shift over to the left. And this time as you roll up, tuck your tailbone, anchor your right hip down, pull your belly button into your spine, and stack your spine all the way back up. Remember, you'll want to do about 8 to 10 reps of each of these. So take your time, pause the video if you need to. For our last and final stretch, we're gonna do neck rolls. So as you stand tall, open up the chest and shoulders. I want you to start by tilting your head to one side so your ear goes towards one shoulder. And then slowly roll the neck and roll the head to the other side so your ear is on the other shoulder. And then do that again, reverse. Take your time. It might feel a little crunchy sometimes in our necks. If we have just the slightest variation in alignment, it can start to feel like things are kind of rubbing against each other. So if you feel that, I would suggest coming back up to center, drawing your chin back, and then trying it again. I'm gonna go to the other side this time. And to the side, and one more time. Great job. Thanks for joining me today. I hope these exercises bring you some relief in the coming hours, days, and weeks ahead. Be sure to hit the like button below and subscribe to Healthline for more. See you soon.